Oh, Father. Oh, Father. Gosh.
And this is black woman recording. She flips the camera to a white woman with her little electric fan, saying, "Tell me why I shouldn't just take her fan and run." Because that's stealing.
Wouldn't be surprised if you did. Just look how many likes this has. 100.
Wouldn't be surprised if you did. Blink fast enough and them lashes should fan you. Not even hiding it anymore. This is the mother of the deceased 1-year-old who was shot and killed by police. And this is just how sad she is that she's doing a money spread next to his little Bluey doll. "Until we meet again, my handsome face, mommy loves you, baby, but not as much as she loves this money," right? It's just interesting to see. This is the first post that I got on it. This is exactly what happened, and she admits to it in this video that her friend shoplifted. The police tried to stop her friend. The friend fled from the police. Then she and her 1-year-old baby, Cohen, got into the car with her friend while the friend was actively fleeing from the police. The friend drove recklessly while fleeing and even struck another car. She did not secure Cohen in a car seat and instead used him as a shield, while the friend unlawfully and violently fled from police.
A car with its door open is seen fleeing from
Footage.
several
You
officers
can see the
who
car
are on
fleeing.
foot. In a statement, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation said an officer shot at the car as it drove toward officers, almost hitting one.
See, that's another important detail to bring up too. She was driving at law enforcement.
The shooting sparked protests outside the Walmart as the community demands more transparency.
And then they start rioting. This is, of course, a white knight that needs to speak on behalf of black people about how unacceptable this is and how we need to like burn shit down and kill the orange man, right? You are award-winning. If the diapers weren't stolen, a rational person would provide their receipt and that would be it. And shots didn't fly over diapers, stupid. Shots were fired because she tried to drive through cops. Two really big points. First of all, if you weren't stealing, then you shouldn't have gotten in the getaway vehicle of your reckless friend with your 1-year-old in the car, because of course you're innocent. Of course you weren't stealing, right? That's why you have the receipt. This is just footage of the protests. Because this always does a lot, right? Blocking the parking lot of a Walmart. This is what they did with the money, by the way.
You can see the Paw Patrol.
They got a horse-drawn carriage.
Right now. That's the mother and father of Cohen Wiley. They're
one of the most depressing sights on the entire planet to see a small coffin. But to see these two, this is the mother and father getting a horse-drawn carriage, because that's what he would have wanted, right? Valencia Wiley, the Mississippi mother of 1-year-old Cohen Wiley, has shared a message slamming her critics and photographs of her holding wads of cash during her son's funeral. Okay, so let's hear her response. Her response is this video on the right. Isn't that how you want to commemorate your 1-year-old son? And this is, of course, Happy Juneteenth, right? Crack the KK cracker, the cracker.
Don't need a check to be my check. If you're gonna be my check, to be my check. Don't talk the shit. Talk the shit. Who you with?
Keep teaching the kids and their kids and their kids' kids and their kids' kids' kids. So it'll be 1,000 years until there were actual slaves on this country's soil, and we'll still be hating each other. First, this original post says Obsession, which is that like creepy girlfriend movie, has grossed over $370 million worldwide. And like the budget for that was like under $1 million. $750,000, and it's grossing $370 million worldwide. And this stupid shit, Sinners, let's see the budget for Sinners. A budget of 90 to 100 million. So yeah, 90 to 100 times the budget of Obsession. Kaguya's Top Gal, one of my favorite accounts, says, the no-budget film made by a 20-something white guy beat the astroturfed Hollywood black revenge porn propaganda movie. That's actually amazing. Mayor Frey just lifted the anti-AIDS ban on sex bathhouses for Pride Month. Very fitting of Pride Month.
This is the bathhouse ordinance. Everybody ready? This is the bathhouse.
Yeah, I love spreading STDs. Yeah. That's what they're cheering for. It breaking, inmates at wherever regional jail in North Carolina have overpowered the correctional officers and taken control of the jail. Hostages were taken and now been released. Law enforcement is trying to retake control of the jail. Inmates are armed with weapons. How does this happen? Let's see what people say. Top comment said, guarantee this was preventable. Following an investigation, we will learn of DEI hires, inappropriate relationships with inmates, and or officers profiting from drug/weapon trafficking. Mark my words. I'd bet money on it. Oh, there's the warden. How is it every single time? How is it every single time? And here's the real point here, which is if something like this can happen, prisoners have too many liberties. Certainly in this jail, absolutely. That's my question as to how could this happen? How could this possibly happen? Well, like those last two posts said, relationships with inmates and leniency and DEI hires. This person just says, if the hostages are gone, just gas the place, set a precedent. I don't know what this video has to do with anything, but Matt Van Swole posted that this is the female inmates being transported out of the detention center. Just hooting and hollering. So this is apparently the last update on Facebook about what happened. So around 5 a.m. this morning, inmates at the Bertie Martin Regional Detention Center overpowered correctional staff and seized control of the facility, prompting an immediate response from local, state, and federal authorities. The inmates inside the detention center assaulted on-duty guards and gained control of portions of the building. At the time of the takeover, a total of 88 inmates and 3 guards were inside the facility. Shortly after the incident began, 1 guard was able to escape the facility while 2 guards were taken hostage. At roughly 9:30 a.m., negotiations led to the safe release of 18 inmates and the 2 guard hostages who were able to exit the facility without further injury. Around 9:50 a.m., another large group of inmates was released and exited the facility. Law enforcement agencies and detention center administrators continue to work toward a peaceful resolution and the restoration of full control of the facility. In Polymarket, just in, Paris's deputy major says the U.S. bears, quote, a significant amount of responsibility for the deadly heat wave gripping France. I guess this is what the U.S. is doing, because how in the hell do you blame this on the United States that you people don't have AC? But not China, that emits 12 billion tons of carbon dioxide. That's okay, because China, not allowed to speak bad of China. All right, now we're back into the fatigue with more prom. I really don't understand this, but I did explain it one stream. This is to substitute weddings and like graduation and actual achievements and accomplishments that they most likely will never have. So they just spend all their money very irresponsibly on prom. With the wad of cash. You ever notice like Mark Zuckerberg doesn't walk around with a wad of cash? Elon Musk doesn't walk around like money spreading. You know, actual successful rich people don't do this shit. I gotta read the caption because this viral videos guy has cracked me up. He says, flexing all that cash while walking out of Section 8 housing. Then again, he's as rich as she is blonde. Perfect. Here's another one. This is like multiple stacks of money. This one had a bit more to take out of the bank. Look at this. Look at the back. Look at the houses. Who are you trying to fool? I guess you're fooling everyone with the cameras out. Hyping him up. I don't understand what's with the head covering. Here is another one. The whole plane. They just rented this plane for her to sit in it. But this person says $1 says he owns and rented the jet to them. This is interesting. I'm so glad he says it in English. Let's hear what an Islamic scholar has to say.
The one that sells drug, good or bad? Just very quickly, good or bad? Bad. How about the murderer? How about the one who commits adultery, zina? What about the one who rapes a child? What about the one who drinks alcohol? What about the one who does the biggest of the kabair, good or bad? This person, one person that commits all of these sins, he commits all of these sins on a daily basis.
He goes to hell?
But he prays.
But he prays, so he still goes to hell? Because he's living a degenerate, evil lifestyle?
Is better in the eyes of Allah than the one that doesn't commit any of these sins but doesn't pray.
Oh. Dwayne Wade's son, Zaire, arrested for felony domestic violence. I can't wait to hear how socioeconomic factors caused the son of a Hall of Famer whose net worth is $200 million to beat up a woman. This is downtown Chicago. So this person says, on June 25th, 2026, thousands of Shia Muslims took over downtown Chicago streets for their annual Ashura procession. Not inside their mosques, they seized public streets in the heart of the city, a sea of burqas, black flags, and men rhythmically beating their chests in mourning for their prophet. This is not quiet prayer. This is a public show of force and total commitment to their ideology. Chicago already has over 100 mosques, yet they still flood downtown, shut down streets, and perform their rituals openly in the name of justice, the same justice that ultimately means Sharia. This is the exact same pattern we just saw in Dearborn: public dominance, demographic replacement, and zero interest in assimilation. Chicago's streets now belong to them for the day. Soon it will be permanent. We are losing one American city after another to Islamic supremacism, while our politicians and media pretend it's only happening across the oceans. Dearborn, Chicago, Minneapolis, Patterson, Hamtramck, Houston, Detroit, wake up. This is not immigration. This is conquest by inches, and they are no longer hiding it.